Hello soulmates, in today's video you are going to learn how to draft and sew this trendy puff sleeve. So let's dive into it. Okay, so now what we're going to need, you need your fabric. This is what I'm going to be using as my main fabric. Then this is a doll face material, a doll face satin, and that's going to serve as my lining. And then I have a medium stay that is going to make it to stand firm. Okay, like the way it is on the picture. Now I have a 1 yard of my fabric. All right, so this particular sleeve is going to be cut just the way we fold our 360 flare material when we want to cut it. So I do my first folding like this. This is my first folding. Okay, so now the length, the radius I am using for this is 6. The radius I'm using is 6. The length I'm using is 8. Okay, so you remember how I said we get a measurement for the 360 flare, so we don't waste fabric. So I'm going to plus my radius and my length together. My length is 8, my radius is 6, so that is 8 plus 6, which will give us 14. Then I'm going to add 3 inches allowance on it to make it 17. Okay, so I'm going to measure 17. Hope you guys can see this. I'm gonna measure 17. So as you can see, this is 17, this is 17. Okay, so it's equally the same. So, and I've actually folded it into 2 to get my 17. All right, so then I'll fold it again into 4, just like this, and get another 17 downwards. I fold it like this, make sure I get another 17 downwards. It's not completely 17, so I move it down again, make sure it's 17. This is just to accommodate the length and the radius of the flare that we're going to cut. Okay, actually I have 17 and a half, but there's no problem, I still have fabric. Okay, so make sure they are seated equally. Make sure they're all seated equally. Okay, so this is it. This is it. So let's take the measurement again to confirm that it's 17. So we have, yeah, so we have 17 here. Okay, so now our radius is 6. To achieve the round circle flare, radius is 6, so I measure 6 here. I hope you guys can see it. Let me bring it close so you guys can see it. I measure 6 here. Go ahead and measure another 6 here. I go ahead. See the way I'm turning my hand, right? I'm getting it from here. See the way I'm turning my hand? So I measure another 6 here. Then getting to the end here. Measure another 6. So that's the radius I'm using, which is 6. Then after getting them like this, all you need to do is connect them together. So this is now our radius. Okay, so our length is 8. So you start from here where your 6 stop, you get your 8. Okay, you see, since I have my 8 starting from here, I have to measure it from the beginning of the folded part to here. What do I have there? That's 8 plus 6, which will make it that 14 I'm talking about. So you now start rotating your hand like this. Cutting on 14. You rotate your hand also. You cut on 14. This is 14. So this is it, guys. This is 14. This 14, this 8 I'm using is together with my allowance and everything. Okay. This now is, like I said, is a 360 flare. You open it up like this. This is half circle of it. This is the half circle. Okay. So if I open it up, you see it as a circle. If I open it up, you see it, right? as a circle. So this is it. Okay, but I'm going to fold it back, so we'll continue our cutting. Fold it back. It's not equal, so we have them as it was from the beginning. So what I'm going to do now is open it up completely, the two parts of it. I open it up completely. Then open this part up also completely. So we're now going to have two pieces. We're going to have two pieces, which is 1 and 2 of this. Okay, so what the next thing I'm going to do is bring out my lining and cut this exactly the way it is into 2 again. So this is it. Then here, as you can see, it's still folded for the lining. It's still folded. So I open it up. Then coming to this end again. This end is also still folded. I open it up. So we have 2 pieces for it. So in all now, we now have 4 pieces. As you can see, we now have 4, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so this is the lining and this is the main fabric. So let me cut the other 4 and then come back to show you guys what next to do. I finished ironing already, like this. I finished ironing and I joined the 2 together. Okay, so the next thing to do is to create the cuff that the sleeve mount will have. Okay, create the cuff. You see, like the middle point, it's just a freestyle. There's no particular measurement for it, so you just freestyle it, starting from the middle part of this and just create a curve that could just come down to this place. Okay, so you just create the curve like this. It could just come down, just like this. Okay, hope you guys are seeing it. So after that, cut it out. This is it. So you have at that point you have something like this. Something like this. So I'm going to go get the lining and the other fabrics that for the other sleeve and then recut it like this. Exactly. I have finished ironing it. I've put the stay on it and then I've joined it together, joined the 2 pieces of the fabric together, and then the lining also I've joined it together. I also, if you notice, I also put a stay on the lining too. And then so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the fabric facing the right side to myself, and then you see it's forming like the circle it was before. So and then after opening it up, I will open the lining also on it, right side facing each other at the place where I sewed. I put them together, making sure they're all equal. They are facing each other and they are directly equal facing each other. You can pin it at this point to make sure that it doesn't shift. Can pin it at this point. So after you pinned the 2 together, you now started to sew it around. You start sewing it around like this. Make sure you arrange it very well. Okay, so you take it to your machine and you sew it round like this, and then you sew the other end also round to the end. Then after that, you sew the width side, this other round side, place that has a round sleeve. You sew it, but you're going to leave like a 5 or 6 inches between the middle side where you used to turn the right side out because you're sewing the wrong side. So after you leave 5 to 6 inches, after sewing everything round, you leave 5 to 6 inches at the middle, then you use it to turn it out to the right side. Okay, then when you turn it to the right side, you now iron it. Okay, now guys, I have finished sewing them and ironing them. I've not really ironed it very well right now, but I just sewed it. This is the place I told you guys that I opened to turn it out. I actually opened 5 inches to turn it out, and it's looking very beautiful. So I'm going to do it like this on the other sleeve. Okay, then after that I'll bring it like this. I join it together where I sew the two of them at that middle point. I'll join it together. That will be the next thing to do. When I join it together, the next thing to do is to take it to my machine and sew it together. Now, before I sew it, I am going to draft out my sleeve mouth. Okay, my sleeve mouth. You measure your sleeve mouth where you want the sleeve to stop. You measure it. It depends on your sleeve mouth. You can use 14, you can use 15, you can use 16, depending on your sleeve mouth. Everybody's arm are not equal, so you just use what suits you, the sleeve mouth you want to use. Okay, then you divide it into 2. Remember how I told you how to divide it into 2 using your tape rule? You place it on 13 like this, and then you straighten it, and then you see it starts at 6.5. That is 13 divided by 2. So I am going to create my sleeve mouth at this end right now. I'm going to create it. I place my tape at the folded part, beginning of the folded part, and then I mark 6.5. If it is 14, I'll mark 7. If it's 15, I'll mark 7.5. If it's 16, I mark 8, depending on your sleeve mouth. But this is the place where you're going to mark it. So I mark my sleeve mouth at 6.5. Okay, so after marking it, the next thing to do is take it straight to my machine, and then I will start from the where that 6.5 stopped. I'll start from there and sew at a very tiny inch, not up to half inch, just like maybe a little 1/4 inch. I will just use it to sew. Because I've not really ironed it perfectly, that's why you're seeing it folded. But when I iron it, you see it, everything will stand and be equal. Okay, so make sure you press yours very well. So you sew with a very tiny inch, maybe not up to half inches space, and you sew it straight down to the end. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my machine and sew it around and bring it to show you guys. Okay, so next thing guys, I decided to add a band on the sleeve, okay, to make it longer. I don't want it to stop here. I don't want it to stop here the way I wanted it. So I want to add it a band, and this band, I cut it like this. Okay, the length is 15 inches. Okay, but I want the width to be my round sleeve. My round sleeve, like I told you guys, is 13 from here, but here should be like 9. Okay, so that means I did it. It's supposed to be 7 or something, but because I want to use it as the lining too, I want to fold it together, so I'll cut both the lining and the main fabric together. That's why. So, and then I used a stay, a soft paper stay on it, but the original one actually, not the other small one. Okay, so I'll just put it together like this, and then what we'll have now, the length is 8, and then the width of it, okay, which is the one that will go inside this place, is 15. Supposed to be 13, but I put 2 inches allowance. Okay, so now what I'm going, like I told you guys on the other one, that I'm going to sew this place round like this. This is for the first sleeve. I've already done this one, if you can see. So what I did, I opened, joining this place together. So I got my sleeve length, round sleeve measurement, that's sleeve mouth measurement. and what I left is 6.5, as I told you guys, which is here. Okay, so before joining it, what I need to do, what I did is I marked these two places like this, so that means it's starting from here to here. So what I will now do is to get this thing like this, right side facing right side. I place it in the middle from where that one is like this. I just sew it round like this, sew it round to where it's up. This will not be my sleeve mouth. Okay, so after that, if I turn it, then it will not be like this. Now for you people to see it, I've sewn the first side, which is like this. That was exactly what I did here. I opened up this place, which is my sleeve mouth, and then I connected it. Then after connected it, I now joined them together like this. Join this one like this to this place, and then I now join the round one. In case you don't want to add, you just want to use this length, it's possible. Most people do that. All you need to do is you remove this, then what you have to do is just join it together, open up your sleeve mouth, and sew this place all round to the end. So once you sew it all around to the end, this part is where we enter into your armhole of the dress. This place enters your. So once you sew it, you have something like this, but this will not be there. You have something like this, and this part will be. So after that, the next thing we have to do. Is to create the armhole. Okay, so I'll have to bring it out. This pointed side and this mouth will be where we enter into the armhole. So what I'm going to do is come here at this pointed side and create my armhole curve, the normal armhole curve. You just open it like this. Okay, you just, the way we do it, you use your chalk, and then you just create armhole starting from here, just to cut off this pointed part. Sorry guys, let me open it up so you see it very well. So you just start from here, the way you cut your armhole like this, and then you cut off these pointed parts. So we'll start like this. Actually going to be a bit hard because of the hard stay and everything, so but just follow your style. So you have it like this. Okay, so you have it like this. Now this will be the place that will enter the armhole, all this place. And but if you look at it, it's bigger than the armhole, right? It's looking bigger than the armhole, and that's because we're going to plait it. Okay, we're going to plait it. So all I need to do is check out my round armhole. My round armhole is 18, for example, so I have to start plaiting it from here like this. You plait it like this. Make sure that this side is 9, but I'm going to stop somewhere. I'll stop like somewhere here, so my plaiting will stop somewhere here. I plait this side, then I get 9 this side, then I start plaiting this side again like this, and then it will stop somewhere here too, making sure that all equal, okay. So then I get 9, so I'll make sure I get 9 here, 9 here after plaiting. Then after that, the next thing to do is bring your fabric that you have sewn and fix it round to the round sleeve. Okay, this is the place I used to turn it out the first time I made it. So but all this place is going to enter into the armhole, so it will be covered. All right, so then after that, I'll be back to show you guys the final look. Okay, so mates, so this is the final look, and it's looking popping already. I'm loving it. I hope you love it too. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please, this is the time to subscribe. Hit the subscription button and subscribe. and hit the like buttons on this video and like. See you in my next video. Thank you.